Good morning. Good morning, peoples. Hi, Nina. So early. Early for you, Nina. Hi, Tanya. Not so much for us. I was trying to, hey, everybody. Behind that rickety shed thing that you see, which is actually not rickety, we're getting ready to finish that cat fence. You can hear the staple gun. Behind that, I was hoping that you could see the stream that you guys hear all the time. Do you see the little bridge to the left of it? Yeah, I bet. Hey, you're welcome. That's where the stream goes, behind all that. And so you can see that when it's full. Oh, God, don't tell me the camera's not going to turn around now. Hang on. There's a lovely view of the back of a chair. Yes, okay. The water runs under that bridge. And Michelle, did you say something about a fence? The stream that you guys hear that's where it's at. It runs under that bridge. Oh, you will. I've talked to my mom about it, and good morning. We can definitely put together some kind of outdoor, indoor puppy pile of an event. What's happening here? When the weather will support it next year. So I'll be working on that and figuring out the details. We'll be finishing the cabin. We're going to build some tent decks. Decks, where you can roll your tent out on so that you're not right directly on the ground, because that can be kind of damp here. And I'll let you know the details after the first of the year. I need to sit down with my husband and figure out strategically how and when and what we're going to do to pull that off. So that would be like a weekend, probably. Maybe a Friday and Saturday, or it'd have to be a Friday and Saturday. When summer? Because Heidi said summer too. In the mountains. Oh, very cool. In the Perry Fam Facebook group, if you guys will shoot me some optimum dates, we're not on a schedule. I knew what you meant, like Asheville, right? The Asheville area. I know you've talked about that before. Asheville area. Really quick, my name is Michelle Wolf. You can find me here at caddyshackdesigns.com. You can email me at caddyshackdesigns@gmail.com. Across the website is our tabs for everything that I do, all the services that I offer. Oh yeah, it sounds like summer is going to be the only time that will work for most people. I did look, and flights into Chattanooga are a little bit cheaper than flights into Atlanta, and they're about the same distance away. We're only an hour and 30 minutes from Chattanooga, and we're Tennessee, and we're an hour and a half or so from the airport in Atlanta. So there's that too. So today, I love Chattanooga. I think it's beautiful. I want to go to the aquarium there. Today I was watching some scopes from Paris. So it would be, they're 6 hours ahead of us, so around 9 o'clock north. I'm directly north up I-75. And then it splits off to 575. So we're just south and east of Asheville. North of Atlanta, south of Asheville. Southwest of Asheville. We're south of Chattanooga and slightly east. So Chattanooga drops down to Dalton. You go east at Dalton, and we're through the mountains. Over the river and through the woods is where we are. So the scopes in Paris this morning, they told them no public gatherings, and of course they're like, screw you, we're going to gather. And they're singing, and they're all hugging each other, and they're singing Beatles songs, and they were singing the national anthem. There was like hundreds and hundreds of people out there, smiling, laughing, basically thumbing their noses at the terrorists. Oh, yeah, I did. I shared it on Twitter, and I shared it with all you guys. Just singing and carrying on. It was made my heart feel really big. It's very inspiring. You're welcome. Oh, hey, Jan, I didn't see you come in. It's inspiring to see stuff like that. It's inspiring, and it reminds us of the nature of our human spirit. We always overcome. We always overcome. We always bounce back. We always come back to the top. Because it's who we are. It's what we do. It's what we do. And the terrorists who died are also now back with the one in the oneness. So they get a chance to start over too. Pouring from the old thermos. So today we're talking about Course in Miracles, and if you're following along in the workbook, it's lesson 319, which says, I came for the salvation of the world. That's the title to that. Oh, but first I want to show you this. So by Saturday night, I'm a tired puppy, because Thursday's hard, then I kind of hang out here and do stuff Friday, and then Saturday's really hard. So I drove down Friday night, spent the night there, didn't sleep very well, and then Saturday's hard, and it's a 2.5 hour drive home. So then I get home and I find this in the mailbox. So that other, hi Linda, other one we're reading was gifted to me by Nina in this hard copy version with the CDs are in the back. So sweet. You guys, I live on audiobooks. It's the only thing that makes the drive feel doable for me, because it's 5 hours in the car, round trip, 2 days a week. Oh, it's so fabulous. I love this author. Books kept me going as a kid. They kept me sane. They gave me a place to escape to. And this was is a favorite author of mine. So I'm very happy to get that. Very, very, very grateful. Thank you for the hearts and the shares. I appreciate all of that so much. I never check my heart count because it's never accurate. But since the update, you guys were sometimes leaving me 10, 15,000 hearts. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with me. So appreciate it. And they were never reflected in the count because of the Android glitches. And now they are. The heart count is just going through the roof, so I don't need to look at it again. I was just curious I know you guys are leaving hearts like mad, and it was only registering about 1,000. So I just quit. I quit even looking at it. Plus, you can get all screwy. But let's get this read. Let's do a card pull. Let's do a Sunday card pull. Why not? I've got the Kuan Yin Oracle sitting right here waiting for us. Oh, I love the hearts, too. It's so fun. I know. My mom was like, why isn't your heart count higher? And I went and looked at it, and I was like, good Lord. But since the update, they count. As of this point, that's entirely meaningless except for the fun that we all get out of it. Someday, there'll be some kind of algorithm applied to it, but let's not think about that. Oh, my God. And if I see one more thing in my feed that says, do X, Y, and Z to get more followers or viewers or whatever, I think my head's going to explode. I got a lot of unfollowing to do today because I don't care about that. Yes, feminine, because feminine's one of your, feminine's one of your core desired feelings. I hope you don't mind that I shared that. Yikes. Whoops. Slipsy. I'm sorry. Lesson 319. Yay, CDF. Okay, good. I was like, oh, I just shared that without permission. Course in Miracles, Lesson 319. Yeah, it's easier, right? Me too. It's easier that way. Easier to be an open book. Here is a thought from which all arrogance has been removed and only truth remains. For arrogance opposes truth. But when there is no arrogance, the truth will come immediately, and fill up the space the ego left unoccupied by lies. Only the ego can be limited, and therefore it seeks for aims which are curtailed and limiting, because that's what it does. The ego thinks that what one gains, totality must lose, and yet it is the will of love, I learn, that what one gains is given unto all. It says will of God, but I've been changing it lately to will of love, because I kind of like that. The second verse is, Father, your will is total, and the goal which stems from it shares its totality. What aim but the salvation of the world could you have given me, and what but this could be the will myself has shared with you? So then every now and then, of course, they slip into that complicated language, that Yoda language, where you're just like, okay, now I've lost you. I like it. Bottom line, you having does not mean other people don't get to have. And we've been talking about this a little bit here and there in this group, but in the Desire Map Workshop group, and talking about that book a while back, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Your richness does not equal other people's poorness. Yesterday I said that you can't cry enough tears to dry the tears of the people in Paris. All your tears don't dry anybody else's tears. Your sending of love and blessings does. And the same thing is true of poverty. You can't get poor enough to make everybody rich. You being poor doesn't inspire anybody. It doesn't compel anybody to ask you what you're doing to make your life work so well. It's not the beacon in the darkness that we need, that people need. I need it. When I am needing something, I have to have somebody who's doing it well to inspire me and for me to learn from. I need people to model it for me. So our universe is not black and white. We need not put everything in one category. Right. And that's what our ego does. So when it says the ego seeks for aims which are curtailed and limiting, that's categorizing. That's Yoda speak for we put things in boxes. We like things in boxes, tiny little boxes that we think we can pull out and examine and then put back in the drawer. And it doesn't work like that at all. Our brains are bowls of spaghetti. It's all one thing. You can't separate it out. Once the sauce is on the noodles, you can't separate that out. It's just all one thing. It's your bowl of spaghetti. So the ego thinks if I win, you lose. And if I love you, I don't want you to lose. If I'm highly competitive, then I'll crush you so that I win. Let's talk about the UFC fight last night. No, let's not. But there's a lot of big-hearted people in the world. Oh, Linda, bye. Michelle, I got idealists too. Oh, okay. Catch the replay. See you tomorrow. Okay, so there's a thing about don't play small, play big or whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that either, because it's not in everyone's nature to be big. Sometimes the greatest gift you get is someone who's quiet. Yeah, I live in a world, I used to say shades of gray, but then 50 Shades of Grey got popular, and I was like, oh, I don't like saying shades of gray anymore, because it reminds me of those crappy books. But I do live in a world of shades of gray, because everything's relative. I had a professor that used to say the only theory that's certain is the theory of relativity. And that's true. It's all relative. It depends on where you're standing and with what eyes you're looking as to what world you're seeing. You and I can stand right next to each other and see completely different views out the same window. So If you're dimming your light, that was Michelle's words. If you're hiding your greatness, if you're staying quiet and choking back your words that you want to share, yeah, we do. We see different things. Even if we see the same global concepts, the differences, the details will be different. Absolutely. It absolutely is awesome. It's not helping anybody. If you think that playing down your wealth or playing down your intelligence or playing down your beauty is helping anybody, it's not. It's not at all. You actually could be hurting the people that you might otherwise be helping by shining your light as bright as you want to shine it. By being that beacon in the darkness, by being that lighthouse in the storm. I have had a lighthouse tattoo planned out forever because I used to use that analogy a lot with other therapists and clients, like you codependent people. You can't go out and rescue people. All you can do is shine your light, and then they benefit from it or not. And that's the same way I see God. The energy is there. It's impersonal. It's there for us, but it's not going to come rescue us. We have to ask for help because we have free will. If it came and saved us, we wouldn't have free will anymore. And I believe our whole system, at the core of it, is freedom and free will. No, it's exhausting. And usually the people who you try to rescue take you down with them. It doesn't usually work the other way around. You can't rescue anybody. People who need to be rescued. Oh, me too. Oh my God. Did I ever bang my head against a lot of brick walls before I figured out that rescuing other people doesn't work? Yeah. It's still my first impulse. Obviously, house full of 5 cats and a bunch of dogs outside that aren't even ours. Well, the cats are ours, but the dogs are not. Well, we actually belong to the cats, if you want to get totally detailed. The cats own us. With your sister, I tried really hard to save an ant. A lot of light attracts black holes and assholes. A lot of light attracts black holes. That'd be a great t-shirt. Or a bumper sticker. You have to learn, don't you? And you have to learn who really wants help and who really is just feeding off your energy. So that's another topic too. Can you guys hear that hawk? There's a hawk in the forest. When you offer your assistance to people and nothing changes at all, you may have just energy drainer on your hands. Yeah, they can be tricky to spot, right? They act so sincere that they want your help. Caw-caw, caw. We have crows, we have hawks, we had buzzards the other day, which means something's dead in the forest somewhere. We have a bear. Oh, hawk medicine is pulling back and looking at the overview. There's a deck by Jamie Lynn Sams. Oh, I can't believe I remembered her name. Called Medicine Cards, and hawk is one of the cards in there. And it talks about the overview. Looking at the big view, looking at the long-term view of things. Catch yourself if you're justifying your wealth, I guess is something I wanted to say. If you bought yourself something nice, something maybe a little on the expensive side, don't justify how you got it. Don't say, well, or catch yourself. Let me say it this way. Be mindful of how you're describing your stuff, whether it's an activity you did for yourself or your family, or an item you purchased for yourself, or you went and got your hair done or whatever. Watch and see if you're making it okay with who you're talking to by saying, well, I got a bonus, or I got it was on sale, or it was buy one get one free, or I got it at the thrift store. Or I had a friend who used to just get on me all the time because I love thrift stores. If I find something nice, I buy it. It's like $2. And my friend would always tell me to shut the hell up when someone would say, "Oh, I love that shirt," and it looks like a Coldwater Creek shirt or something. I'd be like, "Yeah, it is. I got it for $2," because I'd be all proud of it. And she'd be like, "Don't tell people you bought it for $2." Yes, justifying, Kim. My husband always did that with his family because he felt bad having more. Yes. Yes, definitely. You don't need to justify it. And by justifying it, you're telling yourself it's not okay to have money. It's not okay for you to have money to buy yourself fun stuff. Why shouldn't you buy yourself fun stuff if you've got the money available to do it? Now, if you're dealing drugs, you may want to consider your source of income. Typically, it's short term and often ends badly. But, you don't even have to justify that. You just bought yourself something nice. If people ask the price, tell them. I paid $350 for that. I'm so glad that I have $350 around that I could spend on something totally awesome. Yes, I paid $200 to get my hair done because, well, clearly I didn't. You are selling drugs. Magical Mala drugs. That I don't have to smuggle through the airport. Yeah, you do have lots of demand. Look at Sarah slinging malas. She's out there slinging malas. I listened to an Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks CD once that said, instead of bitching about the price of gas, be grateful that you have a car to put the gas into. Be grateful that you have the money to buy gas for that day. You don't need to think about the next tank of gas. Good kind of drugs. Yeah. Money malas. Money malas. I have this image of Sarah wearing like this big overcoat and like skulking down the sidewalk and people like sidling up to her and going, "Psst, Lala." She goes, "Here's what I got. I got this and I got this. Which one do you want?" Slip the money in my pocket. Psst. Hey, you. If you buy someone else an expensive gift, you don't have to justify that either. Oh, well, they helped me with my taxes, or, oh, they helped me do some yard work or whatever. You just bought them a gift, so what? You don't owe anybody an explanation. Don't explain, don't complain. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, buddy. You want to connect with universal love? Look right here. I got your universal love right here, bitches. I'll be right back. I'm going to get that deck since Michelle brought up. If it's your money, do what you want with it. Yeah, and you don't need to. People have two choices when they see you doing well. You're the Zen dealer. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Zen dealer. So people have two choices when they see your success. They can be inspired by it, or they can use it as their reason to not reach for their own success. You don't have any control over that. So you might as well just go on and shine about it, and keep the thought in your mind that I'm inspiring someone today, and I may not even know who it is. Bahamas. Okay, I'm going to get that deck that has the hawk in it, since it's still out there yelling. Here it is, guys. That may actually be a crow. It was a hawk earlier, but that one that's yelling now is probably a crow. So let's read hawk and crow, shall we? Let's let the birds choose our cards today. So just to let you know, this is my third one of these decks. I've had this deck. This is the first deck I had when I was 20. I was pregnant with my daughter. I was 20 years old. And this is the first deck I got. Is that right? Good Lord. Has this deck been around that long? But I keep wearing them out. So this one I haven't even opened yet. Yeah, when I was 20, I thought it's pretty big. It's a pretty big box. The cards are not that big. It's just the book. The book's a nice hardcover book. It's not the little bitty paperback books. It's like an actual book, hardcover book. The cards are just regular size cards. So this is just the container it comes in. Jamie Sams and David Carson. God, I can't believe I've been using this deck for 20... Yeah, Connie got my measuring stick. So long ago. Yeah, 1988. That's the year Morgan was born. So I must have got it right after she was born. So I must have been 21. I know exactly where I was living. Because I remember starting to work with it when... So she must have been a baby. Here's the cards. Well worth it. I can't even remember what it cost because I just get it. When one deck wears out, I just get another one. You know what? I should probably hoard. I should probably buy a couple of decks and just hoard them in case they stop selling them. Oh, look. Look who's first. Hawk. We're going to read Hawk and Crow since that's who's been yelling at us from the woods today. Here's some of the other. They're pretty simple. They're not like, see? Yeah, I'm glad y'all pointed that out. I'm glad you pointed that out. So the artwork is not like, yeah, because that was a scarcity thought, right? My cards are going to stop being sold. I'll never be able to get them again. Let's see. Here's Crow right here. Ooh, Crow is the trickster in some cultures. Hawk is pulling back and looking at the overview of life. So let's read those two. Little birdie card pullers. Oh, I saw a bunch of deer last night too. Deer is gentleness and open heart, ultimate compassion, unconditional love, etc. I'm glad I don't put card pull in the title when I decide to do this, because you can get some whacked out people when you tell them that you're pulling cards. You saw a buck? We all saw deer last night? That's super cool. The deer in Georgia are like teeny tiny baby miniature deer compared to the deer in Colorado, which I didn't understand. But one of the hunters here said the deer in Colorado get bigger because of all the farms, all the grain farms. There's not any farming going on up here in the mountains. These mountains. But then that doesn't make sense because the elk and the deer live and they eat sagebrush and stuff and they still get big. So it's got to be a different variety. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. Okay, Nina, when I was in, Nina says she has a herd that lives in her neighborhood. When I was in Ashland, Oregon last year for a work conference, I think because there's just not that many, Tanya. Oh, in Colorado? Colorado's on a lottery system because there's too many people. You put in for a deer tag and you may or may not get it. So in Ashland, there were so many deer, they were literally crossing the street with people. I'm not even kidding. They do... it's really easy to get the tags here. And the population's pretty high. So yeah, Ashland, Oregon has so many freaking deer wandering around. They practically have become human, and they cross in the crosswalks. Not even kidding. Oh my God, are you kidding? There's so many deer that they're attacking people for their snacks? Do they smell like the apple in your briefcase or your backpack and they want your apple, so they're like, you're getting mugged for your snacks by the deer? Did I tell you that a bear ripped down my husband's corn feeders? Twice. He put up a corn feeder with 4 screws, 2-inch screws. They're obnoxious. They're all over. Well, my husband would like to come help you with your population. A bear. A black bear. We have black bears here. Oh, they're territorial. I didn't know that. Yeah, twice the bears ripped his corn feeder down in a certain area. So he can't put it up there anymore because it tears it off the trees. Like, he probably comes home and he's like, who the hell put a corn feeder up on my tree? This is my tree, bitch. He probably just rips it down. Like, he's probably like totally confused. Yeah, they're little black bears, but they can be aggressive. Bears got your mom's bird feeder. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they would do that. I was like, do bears eat corn? I guess they do. Either that or he was really pissed off about that. Right. Yeah, this is my tree. What are you doing nailing a corn feeder on it? Okay, anyway. So she writes her books in an upside down and a right side up and contrary position. So we'll read the right side up. And I usually drink. Yeah, right. It's like stupid beater. Then he came back and he was probably really pissed that it was up there again. Oh, okay. Oh, I misremembered. Okay, this is very interesting. This is more interesting than I thought. Because it's not hawk, that's the overview. That must be eagle or something else. Ready? Story time! Hawk is akin to Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Hawk medicine teaches you to be observant, to look at your surroundings, and observe the obvious in everything that you do. Life is sending you signals. Life is the initiation. If you have pulled the Hawk card, then right now a clue about the magic of life is being brought to you. This magic can imbue you with the power to overcome a currently stressful or difficult situation. The test is your ability to observe the nuances of power lurking nearby. Oh, this is so good. Is power the talent you have and are not using? Are solutions always hard to find? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Because you have lost the broader vision of Hawk, it is the overview. Or is Great Spirit displaying a gift that you only need to receive? It's right there. It's right there. You just got to open your hands and receive it. Have the colors of the morning inspired you to create? Or has the gloominess of a present situation left you earthbound? Well, that's okay. The chicken's really funny. It's a chicken hawk. It's a chicken hawk. Chickens are hysterical. Has the gloominess of a present situation left you earthbound, unable to hear the voice within the raindrops splashing on your window? Pay attention, it says. You are only as powerful as your capacity to perceive, then receive, then use your abilities. What is called for here is an intuitive ability to discern the message carried within the cry of Hawk. So we all heard it this morning, and we all have to figure out what the message is for us. We love our Sarah. The shrillness of Hawk's call pierces the state of unawareness and asks you to seek the truth. And I would add to this, given what we've been talking about lately, the shrillness of Hawk's call pierces the state of unawareness and asks you to wake up. Please wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up. The ancients recognized this magnificent bird of prey as a messenger bringing tidings to their earth walk, the good red road, from the world of grandfathers and grandmothers, so their ancestors. Sarah is seeking truth from the chicken hawk. Drink from the well, please. Yes, drink from the well. If hawk were to magically cry, it was a sign to beware or be aware. This could mark the coming of a warring tribe, birth of a child, or celebration of counting coup. Hawk's cry signaled the need for the beholder to heighten awareness and receive a message. Hawk medicine is filled with responsibility. It was saying, just listen! Just listen to what this woman keeps harping on and harping on and harping on. I'm like a broken record. Wake the fuck up, please. Wake the fuck up. Hawk medicine people see the overall view. Hawk is not like Mouse, who sees everything through a magnifying glass. Hawk medicine people are aware of omens, messages from spirit, and the color of the calling card you gave them 3 months ago. They're very detail-oriented. Okay, here's our thing. If Hawk has circled and landed in your cards today, you are to be aware of signals in your life, so notice and receive them. Hawk may be teaching you to grab an opportunity which is coming your way. On the other hand, Hawk may be bringing you the message that you should circle over your life and examine it from a higher perspective. Generally, that means take a detached view of your life and see, is it where you want it to be? And if not, what would you like to do about it? From this vantage point, you may be able to see the hazards which bar your freedom. Remember, Hawk has a keen eye and a bold heart, for Hawk flies close to the light of Grandfather's Sun. Boom! There you go. That's a boom. And now let's read Crow, since Crow was yelling its damn head off out there. We have a lot of crows. Crows are fascinating. Fascinating birds. They're scary intelligent. Okay. Coolio, listen for message. Get out of laser view and into worldview. Yes. Go from the micro to the meta. Crow. There's a story that tells... Oh, Crow is law. There's a medicine story that tells of Crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, scratching it, pecking it, until her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow's shadow ate her. Crow is dead Crow now. Think about that. Dead Crow is the left-handed guardian. If you look deeply into Crow's eyes, you will have found the gateway to the supernatural. Crow is the keeper of sacred law. Since Crow is the keeper of sacred law, I take that to mean if you don't deal with your shadow and you keep messing around about it, it will destroy you. Crow can bend the laws of the physical universe and shape-shift. The Europeans that came to Turtle Island were named boat people by Slow Turtle. Even with the knowledge of alchemy possessed by certain boat people, none had ever seen the powerful shape-shifting of shamans who utilize Crow medicine. Crow medicine people are masters of illusion. All sacred texts are under the protection of Crow. Crow is the protector of the ancient records, possibly Akashic records. The sacred law belts, beaded by native women long before Europeans came to this continent, contain knowledge of Great Spirit's laws and are kept in the Black Lodges, the lodges of women. The law which states that all things are born of women is signified by Crow. Human law is not the same as sacred law. More so than any other medicine, Crow sees that the physical world and even the spiritual world, as humanity interprets them, are an illusion. They're an egoic construct. There are billions of worlds. There's an infinitude of creatures. Crow is the gateway to the supernatural. Yeah, I would say I could agree with that. Great Spirit is within all. If an individual obeys Crow's perfect laws as given by the Creator, then at death he or she dies a good medicine death. So it's, I guess, paying attention to universal laws, which are not the same as human laws. The law of gravity, law of attraction is a universal law. Somewhere on the internet you can find a list of 13 or 14 universal laws. The law of compensation. I don't remember. Crow is an omen of change. Crow lives in the void and has no sense of time. Crow sees everything simultaneously. Murphy's Law. Yeah. Crow sees past, present, and future all at the same time. Crow merges light and darkness, sees both inner and outer reality. Okay, here's the instruction for what to do if you hear Crow. If Crow medicine appears, you must pause and reflect on how you see the laws of the Great Spirit in relationship to the laws of humanity. Crow medicine signifies a first-hand knowledge of a higher order of right and wrong than what's indicated in human culture. With Crow medicine, you speak in a powerful voice when addressing issues that for you seem out of harmony, out of balance, out of whack, or unjust. Remember that Crow looks at the world with first one eye and then the other, cross-eyed. In Mayan culture, cross-eyed people have the privilege and duty of looking into the future. Okay, here we go. You must put aside your fear of being a voice in the wilderness and call the shots as you see them. Use your voice. Stop worrying about what people are going to think about your message. Stop worrying about how many followers you have. Stop worrying about where your message is going to land and the impact it's going to have. It's asking you to put aside your fear of being the voice in the wilderness and start speaking. As you let your personal integrity be your guide, your sense of feeling alone will vanish. Your personal will can then emerge so that you stand in your truth. Oh, thanks, Tanya. And I think that's right. The prime path of true Crow people says to be mindful of your opinions and actions. Be willing to walk your talk, speak your truth, know your life's mission, and balance past, present, and future in the now. Shape-shift the old reality and become your future self. Allow the bending of physical laws to aid in creating this shape-shifted world of peace. So that's a lot of talking for basically saying, speak up. Do what you say you're going to do. Walk your talk, speak your truth, and don't worry about it. You don't need to be scared of that. And speaking your truth may be speaking your truth of wealth. It may be speaking your truth of success. If you're hiding how successful you are, if you're justifying the amount of wealth that you have out of fear. Now, I'm not saying go shove it in people's faces. That's a different kind of aggression. What I'm saying is if someone comments on a beautiful something that you have, don't slip into then justifying it. Oh, thanks, and I got it on sale. Or, oh, awesome, thanks, but somebody bought it for me. So, you don't have to feel threatened by my wealth because somebody bought it for me. I didn't buy this myself. I got it at the thrift store. Whatever. Oh, my husband got some overtime. It's similar to what we used to call fat chat when I worked with eating disorders, which is an addiction. Fat chat, if you listen, you'll hear it all the time. It's how women talk to each other. It's how women connect. You meet a woman. I don't do this anymore, and I won't talk to people who do it. But if I run into somebody in the bathroom or whatever, yeah, just don't hide your light in any area of your life. If you're really smart, don't play dumb. If you're really wealthy, don't play poor. It's a lie. It's leaving you in darkness. It's leaving you with a sense of being out of integrity because you're not letting the truth of your being, whatever that truth is. Yeah, I don't like fat chat either. It's ridiculous. Let's talk about something else. Yeah. Oh, the worst thing, I hate it when someone says, "Oh, you look like you've lost weight," and I'm always like, "No, I haven't. Did you think I was like bigger than I am in your head? Like what? Where do you go with that? I don't. Stop commenting on the size of my ass. My ass is whatever size it is that day." Sometimes it's a bigger ass, sometimes it's a smaller ass. It's just my ass. My ass. You don't need to comment on it. Be careful when you do that with women, too. "Oh, you look like you've lost weight." Some people find that encouraging. Some people find it highly offensive. Yeah, you look healthy. They think they're being sweet, yeah. Because our culture says we should always be trying to be smaller. Now, if we lived in a culture that said we needed some big old badonkadonks, then that would be an insult. "Oh, you look like you've lost weight." And you'd be like, "Oh, no. It's my ass and you're being an ass." So don't live a lie. Speak your truth. Don't justify your existence. Your existence needs no justification. You're the light for somebody else. If you're integrate, be aligned with your own integrity. So when you downplay yourself, you lie. Basically, you're lying. You're shifting. You're hiding. You're stepping backwards into shadow. You're drawing the light over, the cover over your light. And there's no reason for that. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing the people around you a great disservice because they may really need to see what success looks like. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Nobody wants to be called that. I'm at the end of the coffee. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Whoops. If I had never known people who were truly wealthy, and I actually had a roommate once who was extremely wealthy, trust fund kid. Her parents were, billionaires, I think. Really, 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 really wealthy. If I'd never known her, I wouldn't understand that even truly, truly, like ridiculously wealthy people are no different than anybody else. They have the same set of problems. They have the same kinds of neuroses. They almost get in more trouble because she used to get in more trouble because she had a trust fund. There are many people who believe they shouldn't be wealthy unless they teach others to make money, right? We have so many money stories, and it's all garbage. Oh, God. Online business coaching. I have been a victim to online business coaching methods in the past, and that will never happen again. My goal this week is to actually go unfollow all the... If it shows up in my feed and says, make more money with these 7 steps, or get more followers by following these 3 magical mystery ideas, I'm going to unfollow them. Not because they're doing a bad thing, but because it just so does not fit me, and it so doesn't fit me at all. It's not where I want to go. It's not what I want to do. It's not how I want to live my life. Seth Godin, to me, is an inspiration for how to just kind of hang out, do your own thing, and build an incredibly successful business. He sends out 1 email a day. It's usually pretty short. He's not on Twitter. He doesn't ever read his reviews. He never reads comments on his stuff. I like Seth. His last book... Gosh, what was the name of that last book? His last book was an amazing book, and he had it to where if you bought one, you got an extra one, and he asked that you give it to someone else. I'm going to grab it. My gosh, I'm just talking forever. Must be the coffee. I'll be right back. Please feel free to leave whenever you need to. I'm coming back, though. This is it. Oh, Seth. I love Seth. You know who else is a good example of that is Martha Beck. Although she was on Oprah, so maybe it's not that. Well, but she didn't push it. It just happened organically. It's the coffee. If it's the coffee, I'm sending her a bigger thermos. Cheers, Tanya. If you're coming in the middle, Martha Beck. But Martha Beck had oh, good. I'm like, am I just talking? Honestly, when I get on a roll like this, that little number in the corner could be 0 and I'd still just talk. Blah, 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 blah. My moon's in Gemini, if that helps, if you're astrology minded. In the Vedic astrology system, which fits me so much better, my moon is in Gemini and my rising sign is Sagittarius. Your moon's in Gemini? Michelle, I think you may be I think we may be each other's doppelgangers, except we look completely differently. What to do when it's your turn, and it's always your turn. So, Mr. Godin decided that he wanted to do a book, but he wanted to do it differently. Tanya, check the Vedic astrology. Right. We're not that far apart in age either. Western astrology and the Vedic astrology is a bit different. Yes, spelled the right way. Thank you. And Vedic astrology fits me 100 zillion times better than Western astrology does. Michelle's my middle name. My first name's Laura. Tanya Michelle. My name's Ash and Laura Michelle. That's pretty wild. So he decided he didn't want to go through a publisher. He wanted to do this his own way. He wanted to make it more like a magazine. More graphic-y, more short sections of text, perfect for those with ADD. Laura, I'm from Texas. When people ask me how to spell it, I say the right way. Spell it the right way. You know, the right way, 2 L's, 2 E's. Look at this. The first part of this is reassurance. It's not here. And it wouldn't do you any good if it were. Opportunity, it's everywhere. That's how I feel about Sarah. Yeah, spell it the right way. I'm trying to read backwards. You've been given a turn. Will you take it? If you're thirsty enough, the world is ready for you more than ever before. Go. Just go. He chose this woman on the cover. Her name's Annie Kinney. And the reason he chose her is, here's why. Annie Kinney died about 70 years ago. She was a mill worker in England, a downtrodden working class, and an early suffragette. At a town hall meeting, she asked a member of parliament for his position on the right to vote. When he refused to answer, she pushed back, making such a ruckus she went to jail for 3 days. Her courage amplified a movement that ended up changing the entire world. Millions of women could have taken their turn in that moment, but it took Annie to step up and do it. That's what I'm talking about. Millions of people can write a book about the same subject. It doesn't mean you shouldn't write your book. It doesn't mean you shouldn't paint your painting. How many paintings of pears are out there? Pears. And every single pear painting is different. All it takes is for you to step up and do it and not worry about where it goes. It's your job to do the work and not worry about where it goes. Be an Annie. Step your ass up and get out there and do your turn. I'm no longer quite sure what the question is, but I know the answer is yes. Pears, there's a pear emoji. If Sarah had looked at all the mala makers out there, she might not have started making her malas. That's a tongue twister. Making malas. Mala maker. So where would we be if Sarah had said, oh, God, there's like 700 spiritual mala makers out there. Oh, my God. Ganesh. We love Ganesh. You know that MC Yogi song, Ganesh is Fresh? That's a really good song. What to do when it's your turn and it's always your turn. Right, because yes, stubborn is a good thing. It's a double-edged sword. When you use your stubbornness in the powers of good, it's really a gift. So when he published this, it was like $25. But he sent you 2. If you ordered 2, he sent you 4. How many malas should Sarah make since so many makers make malas? That's awesome. That's awesome. I was like, I hear a tongue twister here. That's awesome, Tanya. I love it. I love it. Oh. It's your turn to make a ruckus. We're all ruckus makers here. So it's your turn to ship, speak up, stand out, build a following, market a product, make a connection, solve an interesting problem, write, sing, invent, create, ask a question, launch a project, organize a protest, open the door for someone, question authority, make a short film, direct, produce, create, or adopt, learn a new skill, help someone who needs you, be missed if you're gone. It's your turn to make a ruckus. Oh, I love this book so much. But I love that he was like, buy a book, I'll send you 1. Buy 2 books, I'm going to send you 4. And you take those books and you pay it forward and give it to someone. I gave these books out. Gosh, Sarah should make mini malas because they're mini mala makers who are magnificent. This is awesome. You guys are great. Oh, ruckus makers. That could be our little group's hashtag, ruckus makers. Okay, let's just do a book flip and see what comes up. Okay, try this with $5. Here's what we flipped open to. Try this with $5. It might teach you something about what no means. Ruckus makers, hashtag ruckus makers. It might teach you something about what no means. Go to the bus station. Walk up to the first person you meet. Say to him with as much confidence and trustworthiness as you can muster, would you like to buy this $5 bill? I'm selling it for $1. The odds are he'll walk away without buying anything. In fact, he'll probably avoid eye contact and walk away rather quickly. How rude. Doesn't he know you're offering him a $5 bill for just $1? Of course people are not going to buy a $5 bill from a stranger at a bus station. It's the first rule of the bus station. Don't buy something that feels like a scam. The second rule is don't talk to strangers. The story got there before you did. Do you understand that the no that you heard wasn't someone rejecting you or even rejecting your new project after carefully and completely reviewing it? No. It was the no of someone examining your story as heard and comparing it to their worldview. You never had a chance. Consider this alternative. Go to your neighbor's house with a $5 bill in a plain, unsigned envelope. Leave it in his mailbox. Go back again tomorrow and do it one more time the day after that. And then on the 4th day, ring his doorbell, hand him another $5 and say, hey, I'm the guy who keeps leaving you $5 bills. Smile and walk away. On the 5th day, ring his bell and say, hey, you want to buy a $5 bill for $1? My guess is it'll go a lot better than it did at the train station. The $5 bill later in this story is worth just as much as it was at the beginning. What's different is the story. Not just the story you're telling, but the story he's hearing. It's weird. You're weird. But it feels a lot safer this time, doesn't it? Everything you create, every idea you try to share, my neighbors would be suspicious too. Yes. Our closest neighbor is the one who doesn't feed his dogs enough. He's 77 years old. And he would be suspicious of, yeah. Everything you create, every idea you try to share, every project you launch is a $5 bill. Sometimes people will refuse it, even as a gift. Other times they'll fall all over themselves to pay you $10 for your $5 bill. They buy or reject a story, not you. That's what I would do too. So what he's saying there is, when you put your offering out into the world and it gets rejected, it's not you that gets rejected. It's the story that the receiver tells about your product that gets rejected. It's the non-attachment of where your work goes. What happens to it after it flows through you into the world. It's a very powerful message. It's saying, don't. No. Is it a movie? Dickie Roberts, former child star. If that's a movie, I'll watch it today because it's cold here. I'm going to finish this fence and then. You have to not take it personally because it's not about you. It's the story the person is telling in their own head. I've been talking before on these scopes and have a large number of people here. Then I say something. Okay, I will watch that. It's a movie, right? Then I say something and this number will just drop. Or one day I had like several people on and I started to do a card reading and the number dropped because they were not comfortable with a card reading. I can't worry about that. I'll watch it. I'll watch any movie. Napoleon Dynamite's one of my favorite movies ever. It's totally goofy. There's a lot of wisdom in that movie too. You can't worry about it. Okay, I've written books that have been what I would call successful, and I've written books that just sit there and do nothing. I had, until I took it down, I'm rebuilding it. My blog posts would sometimes get shared a zillion times. Not a zillion. But I had one that, it's one of my favorite movies. There's a roadside stand selling Mexican pots. Roadside stands are awesome. Napoleon Dynamite is hilarious. We've probably watched it a dozen times. And there's a lot in there about just being yourself, too, and not worrying about it. Don't worry about it. Put your offerings out there. Don't worry about how many likes you get. One side of the store, the pots were $5, and the other side, the same pot was $10. What's up, Heath? Are you trying to get me to shut up? Hi, honey. The guy asked, why is this pot $5 and this pot $10? It's story time with Sarah. Now I'm anxious to hear the answer. Why is one pot $5 and one pot $10? Oh, my stuffy nose. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the sniffing. Thanks for the hearts. The stand owner says some people want to pay $5. Some people want to pay $10. Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. A lot of times you can sell, true story. It's the stories. Here's a true story. When I was still hanging out in the art gallery in Colorado doing my art, I used to take classes now and then from Judith Dickinson, who's an amazing, amazing artist, painter. Pay what you want. That's a novel business approach that I'm seeing more and more of that. Yeah. That's why my Reiki sessions are really intuitive card readings, honestly. People are getting a lot more than just a Reiki session. But anyway, this artist, they're at a show. This guy is painting. He's an amazing painter. A woman asked how much it cost. He said 12, meaning 1,200. She wrote him a check for 12,000. When he said, she hands him the check. He's about to hand her the painting, and he realizes it's 12,000. He said, "Oh, well, when I said 12, I meant 1,200." And she said, 1,200? She took her check back and left. Because in her mind, 12,000 was worthy to pay for this beautiful oil painting. 1,200 was crap. He lost a $12,000 sale. Yeah, because he corrected her. I would have kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't have said, I would have been like, oh, hell yes. But it's true. In her mind, the art plummeted in value if she was only going to pay $1,200 for it, because she was a wealthy art investor. Some people want a $10 pot. Some people want a $10 bag of pot. Depends on who you're talking to and what state you're in. Yeah, I was just like, oh my God. And so Judith, when her paintings went from $5,000, I'm not kidding, her paintings are like $15,000, $20,000 now. Some people want the same pot for free and get mad at you when you won't give it to them for free. We went to Bridge of Spies last night. Oh, I really want to see that. A good history movie and a great Do What's Right movie. Yeah, I really want to see that. That's the one with Tom Hanks, right? Bridge of Spies. I want to see it. I'm such a movie buff, and we live an hour away from a theater, so it's been really difficult to get out to see movies. Netflix is like my new best friend, but it's not the same. I like the theater. I like the theater popcorn. I like the big giant screen. I like threatening people who flip open their cell phones during the movie, because that's fun. I should probably go. I got a fence waiting for me. I'm sure that Heath popped on a minute ago to be like, we've got a fence to finish building, honey. He's really nice. And he'll be just like, hello, we got a cat fence we need to finish. So, anywho, Seth Godin is a great person to get support from to do your own thing. Oh, I am. He knows. He knows I'm chatting with friends. So check out this book, What to Do When It's Your Turn. It's always your turn. If you're not following Seth Godin, it was fun. I love just rattling on and on about stuff. Oh, the cat fence? Well, I'm going to scope it. I did a couple of scopes the other day for the pet lovers people and for the cat part of Caddyshack Designs. And I'll scope what we're doing today too. It's a fence that's designed to keep cats in. Wonderful morning. Love to you. Love to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the hearts and the shares and hanging out with me on this very cold Sunday. I so appreciate your presence. Remember to walk your talk and speak your truth. Listen for the messages Hawk was sending us all this morning. Love, so much love. So much love, you guys. My heart just overflows. Pears and chickens and chicken hawks. And this was that deck again. Can you hear Hoot singing in the background? Are you singing to us, buddy? He's right here. Are you singing to us? Hootie. Are you singing, Hootie? That guy came off the streets. Took me 8 months to get him to let me touch him. 8 months before I could touch him. A year before my husband could touch him. Okay. Big kisses, big hugs. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow morning before noon Eastern. Tomorrow's our Tao Te Ching. and Byron Katie book study, and I'll start reading from this one. You're welcome. Oh gosh, there's so much fun stuff to talk about. And then, all 5 of them came off the streets. Off to Koya! Yay! Mwah, mwah! See you tomorrow. Oh, if you want to watch the fence, I'll do a couple of scopes today about the fence. You can, if you're interested in the fence, you can watch it. It's a way to let your cats outside safely, where they can't get loose and get run over in traffic or eaten by birds or whatever. Shot by people with paint guns. Horrible stuff. So it's a cat safety system. All right, love you guys. See you tomorrow.